Welcome back, Jimmy G. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Jimmy Garoppolo and the rest of the 49ers are looking forward to a healthier season in 2019. They get a road test in the opener as they take on new coach Bruce Arians and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back at halftime with a look around the early games. But first, we'll get over to Tampa. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. So happy to be with you, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. And we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And off we go from Tampa. This one taken from the 7. So here are the 49ers and their offense in great field position already. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. That good for 22 and a first down.
Let's go.
Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. They'll set up to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Running is Barber, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
Peyton Barber had his best year running the football in 2018, and he was 9th in the league last year in rushing attempts. The only issue, yards per carry. Total yards under 900. New head coach Bruce Arians, he believes he can improve his efficiency.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Winston. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Fourth down, and the Bucs trot out the former 49er Bradley Pinion to punt it. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around, 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go. Wait, 80! Stay hot! Stay hot!
Garoppolo on 1st down. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. But Pettis is quickly becoming the #1 receiving option for Jimmy Garoppolo. Into last year, John Lynch said that they loved the way he closed the season. He really came on late. Remember, this is a guy that they traded up to get at number 44 back in 2018 out of the University of Washington. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Here we go, here we go.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 1st down.
Here we go,
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he fires one incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And now it's 2nd down. And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
Eric Berry's the textbook definition of ball-hawking safety. You name it, he can do it on the football field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
He's coming. He's coming. We got double up. Check.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And that will be incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. On now is the 27-year-old rookie, Mitch Wisnowski, to punt, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
D Ford, a lightning-quick edge rusher, has made his way from Kansas City to San Francisco, and no one happier than interior defensive lineman DeForest Buckner. That should free him up for more one-on-ones inside, and Ford's speed off the edge will surely make quarterbacks get rid of the ball a whole lot quicker.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston, man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A first down throw for Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Barber on 1st and 10. The tackle made by Antone Exum.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitch. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Here we go. 180! 54. Hut! 54. Watch twist.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. This will be caught just inside the 10. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Here's Breida. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Now, this series between the 49ers and the Bucs began back in 1977 in Tampa Bay's second year in the NFL. It's been a series that the 49ers have dominated, 17-7 overall, although Tampa has won the last 2 meetings. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Garoppolo now. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Here we go. 180! 45. Set hunt!
They run for it with Breida. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
Here we go.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Got his target, Samuel, and he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. This one to Bourne out on the left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Garoppolo again. And the throw there going to be incomplete. It's not going to end in points, but you consider where this drive started. You probably label it a success.
I do, and I know that without points, it's hard to say that a drive truly was a success. But think of it this way. Changing field position, maybe giving your defense a little bit of a break.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Heading back out there, a look at Peyton Barber. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. On the ground, it's Barber to start the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well. That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's going to look deep for Perriman. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. On the return is Pettis. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Buccaneers now. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Early on, you hit on it. Needing to avoid the big play. Easier said than done, though. There's a big touchdown.
Yeah, but the big thing is when he does get his catches, you've got to tackle him and get him on the ground. Obviously, weren't able to do it on that one.
Gold to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Now this one complete on the slant route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Jameis to throw it. And that was not the long, drawn-out drive that you were talking about when it started. Anything but.
I saw this drive going a little differently in my mind, partner.
I think we both did. Unable to really move it. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Winston. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Winston now from the 50. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Again, it's Winston. Throw left side, complete to QT. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
A 49-yard attempt.
And this will be off the right upright, but he banks it in. A high degree of difficulty there, but he gets it to go. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead in that one. Russell Wilson with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head east to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting LA Rams. 28-14 was your final score. Finally, let's get to the desert. Check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Kerryon Johnson has a touchdown run. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Third quarter starts with a run by Barber, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Fred Warner coming off a strong rookie year in on the stop for the Niners.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Winston now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Now Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 9-yard line. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 42 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. Here's Barber. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 5 now. Garoppolo. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Ready. Blue ready. Mike 5-4. I know he ain't got it.
They'll start on the ground with Barber. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run the toss to Barber. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd. On 3rd down, Winston. Airing this one out for him. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Oh.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Another try after the 1st down sack. Winston out to the left there and complete to Howard. And they'll get this down to the 10. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, some good games around the league here early in Week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Toward the pylon, caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Throwing, Winston. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Garoppolo looks to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and it's 3rd and short. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Garoppolo on first down. And this is incomplete. Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, the intended target. But it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. That'll be complete to Breida. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 28.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
You know, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. And the great veteran Eric Berry back to knock that one away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And some space here. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's got it. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The kick by Gold is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Let's go, baby.
So now Winston and the Bucs down 20-17, just under 2 minutes to go. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready. Stick with the mic. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that ball. Get that ball.
They'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Peyton Barber was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Winston leaves it with Barber on the draw. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The Bucs on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. He's got Evans. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
17-yard line.
Ready? White 25. Check 56. White 25. Check. Let him go.
Off the play fake. Winston. And it's caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans in the final minute. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. They've gone final now out in Glendale. And it was the Lions who emerged victorious in that one. Kerryon Johnson, a touchdown run to help lead the way. This one taken just inside the 10. And an alley to run. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Now it's the Niners' turn, trailing by 4. A little over 40 seconds to go. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
Here we go. 180. Check, block 54, block 54.
Play action, Garoppolo. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargreaves, the one who was there defensively.
Here we go.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 15 yards on the play. First down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep him in.
And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one. Whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
One last shot now for Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And that's how this one ends, in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. So the victory here for San Francisco. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the 49ers, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll get a look at Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers as they match up with the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Cincinnati for the home opener. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, with the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're a backup to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Here we go.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On second down, a run with Breida. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Check nickel.
They go play action here on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
Matt Breida often gets overlooked when we talk about top running backs in the NFL, but he had a very efficient season in 2018, almost doubling his rookie season yardage. And if he gets a spot of daylight, look out. Registered the fastest carry in the NFL in 2018, hitting nearly 22 miles per hour.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo finding Goodwin, and he's going to get this inside the 30. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide, usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They run with Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd and 15 now. Garoppolo. He'll let this go for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Bengals under first-year head coach Zach Taylor. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Dalton, 1st and 10. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. D Ford. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Benjamin with it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both.
He's got him in, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the 1st.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from... And he coughed it up! And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Breida. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Open man is Pettis. It's complete. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Here we go.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Garoppolo gets this one left side to Pettis. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Bengals grab it. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here we go, here we go. Right here, right here.
5-2 the mic. Mike 5-2, Mike 5-2. I got you. I got you. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Garoppolo now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On play action, now Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Bunt formation, bunt formation.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? He finds his running back, Mixon. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action here with Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, some credit there to A.J. Green because he's so tough to cover. Sometimes he causes those penalties.
He's one of the more difficult guys to cover in the NFL because of his ability to do just about anything on a route. Hard to do. Creates a lot of pass interference calls.
Dalton now to pass. That is caught inside the 5. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. This is caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Pretty fortunate there, the interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him to question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On is the rookie 4th-rounder Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Passing, it's Dalton. On the right side, caught by Green. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns, but of course there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Get him, boys. Yeah, that's how we do, D.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here comes Pettis on the return. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now Garoppolo. This one to Bourne out on the left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end pass rush. They've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Here we go, here we go.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Breida. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers have retaken the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. He's been good so far to this point in the 2nd quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job, increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
We'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now left side on the swing pass.
I'm going to hit you all day.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And Dalton to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. D Ford getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Pulled in at the 24. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally
And he loses the football a second time. And the Bengals grab it. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team. This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Here we go, here we go.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The Niners on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Garoppolo again. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here we go with a player's spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. Hey, he's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Dalton. Caught Eifert over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards, the final tally. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it's the Cardinals who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Larry Fitzgerald, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll stay in the AFC North as we head to Heinz Field to check on the Steelers. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. A touchdown pass there for Ben Roethlisberger. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. In that game, level as they take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Gould now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Dalton here from the gun. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Check, 154.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
This is taken at the 10. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On first down, here's Breida. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Here we go, here we go.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 12-yard line. Garoppolo now. 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. This is Breida. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He's got it. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They're like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Let's make these babies cry.
False start, offense.
Let's make these babies cry.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. I call it no gain there on the first down play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Dalton, and caught, right side, Green. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Andy Dalton now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Dalton on the draw to mix him. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Dalton now to pass. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, and it's 3rd and short. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
To throw here, Dalton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Drew Sample with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are back within a single score.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now a give running left is Breida. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Play action. Now Garoppolo eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time, they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gets him the first before he's brought down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
23 yards on the play. Dalton operating in the red zone now. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard, Had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Antone Exum. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two.
Hey, alert! 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 Go! Go!
Mike's 56. I got it. Mike 56.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for two, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
To throw again on second down. Dalton got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Hands up! Lady!
Right there, 54 Mike.
Quarterback, don't get nervous. Stop! We ain't beginning to tear you up. Hands up!
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. D. Ford, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
We need team!
56. Let's go, team!
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Here we go, here we go.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Now a give to Breida. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Niners on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Dalton on the offense now. Down by 12. 1:12 to go. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So Dalton now. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again. Dalton. He finds his running back, Mixon. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. It's do or die for Dalton. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So the victory here for San Francisco. And this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer, Tim Karen, said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do, as well as prepare our bodies the same way.
So for the Niners, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.